Hello and welcome to Meet Me Monday. I'm Karma and this is Lewis Acre Farm, and I am so thankful that you are here today. We are doing a pre-recorded interview with Alfonso with A.S Blind Made Productions, and I'm so glad to finally get an opportunity to get to know Alfonso and find out more about him as a creator, as a person, and then also get to know more about his channel. And I want to welcome you in. I want you to sit back and enjoy getting to know Alfonso. Uh, Take this opportunity to get to know his channel. Um, I want to thank you for being here, being a part of chat. If you are watching the replay, I want you to know how very important you are uh, to this channel and to our guest. Um, I also would encourage you to hit the thumbs up, whether you do it on the way in, halfway through, on the way out. Hitting the thumbs up is very important to the channel. It helps YouTube know that you appreciate the channel, that you enjoy the content, and it helps to get us out there and let other people know that we exist. Um, I would also encourage you to leave a comment. Not If you're watching the premiere, uh, not only during the premiere, but also afterwards. Leave a comment, maybe something that you learned about Alfonso for the first time, or if you have a question that we can go back and answer um, afterwards, or even just saying how much you enjoyed the video. Uh, you, it Again, it just helps the algorithm. Um, it lets people know that you've enjoyed the content, and it lets YouTube know that you have enjoyed the content. So without further ado, I want to welcome to the stage Alfonso with A.S Blind Made Productions. Hello, Alfonso. How are you doing today?
I'm great, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. It's been a very, very busy day for me. um, a little bit late for our appointment, but
No,
I
that's
appreciate your.
understandable. I was having some issues with my sound, so kind of worked out at the end.
Okay, well, I do appreciate your patience with me. So, we had some beautiful, beautiful storms this morning here where we live. You live in New Mexico, is that
No,
correct?
Colorado.
Colorado. You're from New Mexico.
Originally from New Mexico.
Okay, so you understand about the desert, how
Yes,
when rainy season's over, you don't get rain.
right.
And
I'm from southern New Mexico, like near the Texas and Mexico border.
okay, well, for us here in southwestern Idaho, usually about mid to late May, that pretty well is the end of our moisture season, and we don't get rain after that. So the next time that we actually see rain is, October.
Like in the fall. Yeah.
Yeah, and so um, we had a gorgeous, gorgeous, amazing thunderstorm this morning. It was so black and rumbly, and a little tiny bit of lightning this morning when I
Oh
woke
yeah.
up, and
I
so nice
remember
and
when I,
cool.
I remember, I remember when I lived in New Mexico. Usually, it ranged from like during the month of May, but then throughout the summer it's dry, hot. But then like August
Ye-
rolls around, through all the way
Yeah.
through October. We get heavy rain.
Yeah, we our annual precipitation is between 10 and 13 inches annually. And so it's dry here and to get rain this late in the year is really nice. Very, very welcome. But anyway, so you are from Colorado,
Yes.
and how long have you lived there?
Well, I've been here 7 years already.
Okay. All right. Very nice. So, why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself? Tell us about you and your family, maybe?
Well, my current situation is I live with my sister and my brother-in-law, and my two nieces. I had to come to Colorado under legal circumstances due to a family domestic violence situation between my both my parents. So I had to
Okay.
come up here under court order.
Okay. All right. So, do you have uh, nieces and nephews that you enjoy hanging out with, or?
They're my nieces. They're twins.
Oh, fun. You ever have trouble telling them apart?
No, thankfully. Because
Oh,
one is taller than the other.
well, that makes it nice.
Yes.
So, very cool.
So they're
So,
paternal twins. Paternal instead of
okay.
identical.
Oh, well, that helps. That
Yeah.
helps. So, so how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I got one brother in Arizona and one and just my sister here.
Oh, okay.
There were just three of
Nice.
us.
Very nice. So,
But
what are some of,
I do have a lot of relatives, a lot of cousins. Like a lot of cousins in Mexico, down in Juarez, down in Texas, El Paso, Texas, and I have one in Iowa, one in California,
oh,
one in
okay. Well,
Indiana.
I spent a weekend in El Paso when I was in college. I I went to college in Portales, New
Oh,
Mexico.
Portales, New Mexico.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been there once.
yeah. I
Going
went to
up to
college.
Clovis. Yeah, that's
I,
like going up to Clovis.
yeah, I used to go and hang out in Clovis. That was where we'd go and just kind of hang out. Sometimes we'd go and do some of our shopping and stuff there. And but yeah, one weekend, me and some of my friends went to El Paso to UTEP and uh, hung out on the campus there um, for just for the weekend.
Yeah. Well, I'm originally from Las Cruces, New Mexico. That's where I'm
Oh,
from.
okay, I've been through there.
You been through Las Cruces?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's where I'm from.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I loved being there in New Mexico. It is a very uniquely
Oh yes,
beautiful,
I lived
beautiful
in
state.
Las Cruces, Alamogordo, Albuquerque.
Yeah, yeah. Went to a concert in Albuquerque with some friends one time, and that was fun. So, um, anyway, so let's see. So, tell us about some of your hobbies that you
Well, one
have.
of my hobbies is music. I played the piano, organ, harmonica, banjo, guitar, and I'm also into the model trains. Let me show you what I got here. Let me zoom in. Like I just finished setting it up. Finally got it off the ground yesterday. Like took me all day to move
Oh,
my
okay.
shelf around.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I
Mhm.
can't get it focused.
Very
So there it
cool.
goes.
Very nice.
They're the big G scale model trains, the big ones, the ones
Uh-huh.
they put under the Christmas trees.
Right.
Now these trains are meant to go outside in the garden. Like you're here, like look up garden railway.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see people put their model trains outside in the garden.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so these trains are meant to go outside in the garden.
So do you have plans to move it out to the garden?
I wish, I wish
Yeah.
my family here won't let me do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is very nice. You've done a very good job with that. Back in the day, I worked for our county museum, and it was housed in a 1903 Union Pacific Railway depot.
right,
And in the ticket office, they had a um, model train set up under glass.
right.
And we would go in and flip the switch and let it run for the guests. And we had a caboose um, that had been restored, and we would go out and give tours of the caboose. And uh, we had all of our displays set up inside the depot, and
And
then we
where's
had
this
another
at?
building. What's that?
Where's this at? Where is it? Where
It's
you live?
yeah, here in the county where I live. It was the Canyon County Historical Museum in
Okay.
Nampa, Idaho. That was quite a long time ago that I worked there, but yeah, I was their office manager, and I I gave tours. I created exhibits. I did research. I wrote grants. Um, I ran the gift shop. I did a lot. It was fun. It was
Yeah.
a lot of
Now this
fun.
is the regular size, the HO.
Uh-huh.
It's the regular size,
Right.
which is too small for me to see.
Uh-huh. So, what what other hobbies do you have? Do you have hobbies outside of music and trains?
Mostly to the farm tractor, like the scale model farm tractor, farm toys, and all that. Like I
Oh,
have them all
okay.
set up. Let me see if I could pull up a video that I just have recently finished editing. It hasn't been posted yet.
I don't really have a way of showing that right now, but we could definitely direct people to your website or your
Okay.
channel, I mean, to have them watch it. So, what kind of music do you play?
I
You
like to
play
play
a
the old.
wide variety of instruments.
Oh yeah, I play the old time Western, Mexican, country gospel.
Okay.
If you come to my channel, you'll see all that. You can
Okay.
have what's called Alfonso and the clones, where I clone myself. I got myself clones playing each instrument.
Okay. What's your favorite instrument to play?
The harmonica, because I could take that anywhere with me easily.
Hey, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. My husband is trying to learn. He can play a little bit, but he's trying to learn the fiddle, the dobro, and the mandolin.
Man, I make sure I have an old mandolin that a coworker gave me a couple of years ago. It's a
Okay,
hundred year
that's
old. It's a
um,
Neapolitan bowback taterbug mandolin from Italy, and it's about a
yeah,
hundred-year
okay.
old.
Yeah, that's definitely a different style of mandolin.
Yes,
He has the A style and the F style
yes.
mandolins. He has two, and then he has a dobro, and he has a fiddle.
Wow. I have a fiddle too that my friend in New Mexico just got me for Christmas last year. I
Okay.
just
Oh, that's
can't
pretty.
figure out to get it set up. I just needed to get it set up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
Very
want
pretty
to
one.
take it to get it set up professionally because I don't want to ruin it because it's like probably like a
Right.
$600 instrument.
Right. So what got you interested in all the different instruments?
Well, I love listening to the old time music, old Mexican, country, western, gospel, bluegrass, old rock and roll, 50s, 60s, doo-wops, and all the old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the stuff, a lot of the music I have are on vinyl,
Right.
and what I have, a lot of it that I have are usually like from local artists, regional uh,
Mm-hmm.
music that is out of print that you can't find on YouTube, Amazon, anywhere, any streaming platform. You can have a lot of
Right.
old music that you from like I want to say from the 60s or before, you can't find online, especially they're from
Right.
like local artists, local regional artists.
Right.
Yeah,
I
they're
know
out of
that
print by.
I know that Logan, my husband, he really likes the old country and bluegrass, like uh Bill Anderson and
Bill Monroe,
Bill Monroe, yes.
Earl Scruggs, and Lester Flatt.
Yes. Yes, all of those. Mo Bandy's one of his absolute favorite. He has a picture hanging in our living room of him shaking hands with Mo Bandy after a concert,
Wow.
and that's his one of his prized possessions. Um, but yeah, he likes all of the really good old classic.
Don Reno, it's a good one too.
I don't know all the names. I just like music. So I I'm not good at names and titles and all of that. I just know the song. If I
Right.
hear it, I like it. I never have been good at knowing the artist and the song title and all of that. But now Logan, he could sit and talk for hours about artist titles, albums, whether they won awards, what year they came out, um, all of that. He could sit and talk for hours about that, uh, but not me.
Yeah, I have one gospel. There's this gospel group that you should know them personally out of New Mexico. This was 20 years ago when I lived in Alamogordo, and they came to our church to play. And these guys were around like from the since the 60s. They recorded their first album.
Have
So
you?
they sing English and Spanish.
Oh, okay. Have you heard of the Lewis family and the Lewis family tradition?
Yes, in fact, the Lewis family gospel group,
Uh
bluegrass
huh.
group. Yes, I have one of their albums on vinyl.
Okay. That is my husband's family.
Wow. So you're related to the Lewis family from the bluegrass band, right?
Yes. Little Roy and Lizzie.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That is Logan's distant cousins.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what was your first instrument that you learned to play?
My first instrument was the keyboard when I was 17. I'm now 41. I was in high
Okay.
school when I first picked up a keyboard.
Very cool.
Then when I graduated high school, I started playing in church.
Okay.
Then from there we moved on, like in around 2007, we moved to Meadow Lake, New Mexico, like 30 miles east of Los Lunas.
Uh-huh.
And that was the best church I played in. They played the old style Mexican
Uh-huh.
church music, hand clapping, foot stomping rhythm, like the old time.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. So, let's see. Now you in some of our conversations
It
in the
fell
past.
apart. That group fell apart.
Oh, okay. In
And
some of our conversations in the past, I seem to recall you mentioning that you had gone to college.
yes, I
What?
graduated at Doñana Community College in Las Cruces in 2018.
Okay. And what did you study?
Creative media technology, doing graphics, video. You have to get my
Okay.
certificate, you know.
So, what
Um,
can you do with that knowledge? And what does that certificate mean?
it's
Or
basically means that you complete the training, you know, working with. So you get a job in the film industry, editing films. Because I had to, you know, when I was in college, we had to learn digital graphics. We learn the software like Photoshop, Illustrator, and
okay.
then we had to take photography.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that was a lot of work. But you had to go out
Yeah.
into the field. And
Okay.
in my case, I had to have someone drive me around all over. We did a lot of traveling.
Okay. All right.
And then video editing, learn how to edit film, edit, add sound to your films, you know. And
Right.
one thing that I learned is to do a green screen at the time, like when you change the background,
Mm-hmm.
when you shoot in front of the green screen,
Okay.
which I do a lot of that now, you know. I do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
that in my production.
Something that I've learned, there's another channel that I've done an interview with, and that is Have Cheetah Will View, Patrick. He interviews filmmakers and directors and actors. Um, and something that I have learned by watching some of his interviews is that a lot of the movies that we watch are even the action scenes, like running through the streets or
Yes.
climbing in the forest and such as that, they are actually created in the studio. They're
Yeah.
not they're
No,
not actually
they're
happening out in the wild. They are done with a green screen. And I I found that to be really interesting. And so this certificate that you hold, this education that you've got, is actually training you to be able to do films
how to
like
edit.
that.
Yeah, edit films.
Right. That's really interesting.
And that's how I do all most of my videos, like especially with Alfonso and the Clone, my music videos. You know, I put them all together in post production because I shoot
Okay.
them all in front of the green screen.
Okay.
And
That is
that
really
can, you know,
cool.
the only thing is it's very time consuming. I could take it might take me 2 months of editing, you know, with all the effects. Usually,
Right.
what consumes the most time is the rendering because the effects, the
Uh-huh.
green screen, lighting, all that special effects that I used. It takes a lot of processing power, you know. Rendering, you want to let that
Yeah.
render overnight.
Yeah. I can understand that. Yeah. That is really fascinating. I've learned so much. You see, back when I was in college, I was starting to study for radio and television. Uh, I'd gone through um, television and radio production 101, basically, and I worked for the public radio station for my work study program. And we were still using the old reel to reel for for the music and that. Um, and we had the cassettes for when we would record the news segment. We'd record. Uh, no,
Do you hear the cassettes? But I know what the reel to reel heard are bigger rolls.
yeah, it was like a the films like in
Yeah.
school when they'd show a movie on a
Yes.
big old movie projector.
Yes.
Those big reels like that, and
I
you'd have
have I
to
have not seen
wind
though
them
in
and
over 30 years. The
yeah,
film.
we'd have to put those big old reels on the machines and wind them and thread them through all the little loop-de-loops to
Yeah.
get them to play, and you have to get them just right so they'd play in the right spot. And we had like 3 or 4 big machines in the production room, and then we had the cassettes that were canned for the news and the so-called commercial breaks and
You did are you familiar with what you call like the Max Beta tapes what they use for television? With
um
That's what you guys had?
well, it was like an 8 track, but
Yeah.
bigger.
It's not a VHS tape that you guys were
No,
using. No, it's
no,
a
this was
beta.
like a
Called a
it,
beta Max Beta tape.
I don't remember what they called them, but it was like a supersized 8 track
Right.
that you just put in like you would an 8 track. You just popped it in, and then you just pushed the different colored buttons to make them go. I can't read. We're talking back in 1989 and 90 when I was in college and working at the radio station. But then in the production class, we had to create and produce, we had to write and produce and film a, um, either a commercial or a PSA, public service announcement, or something along those lines. And I created a PSA. I wrote it, directed it, the whole 9 yards. And it was for our campus area resident escort service. And it was basically um, a service that was available, like, especially for the ladies who wanted someone to make sure that they got from point A to point B on campus safely.
Oh yeah, an escort basically.
Right. And if you were like in the mess hall, um, and you wanted to get back to your dorm and it was late at night, you could call the service and they would send someone to walk you back to your dorm and make sure you got there safely. Uh, and that's what it was. So I wrote a commercial for that, and then we produced it. And that was one of the projects that we had to do. And we've come so far from the way that we did things in 1989 and 90 to what we're doing today. It's like night and day difference. But anyway, it's really interesting to hear what you are doing now with the training that you've received versus what I received back then. Um,
You know what? Back in middle school, I was in like the 7th or 8th grade. I had a little experience with analog audio too, because we had a class on technology,
uh-huh.
and we had stations, and then one week you do computer, next week you doing Lego Mindstorm, then the following week you do video, then the
Hmm.
following week audio, so on,
Yeah. When I was in 6th grade, computers were just barely starting to be recognized. And um, at the school I was going to, we had a gentleman that volunteered and he helped our class. I was in a really small private school, and he helped our class um, write a DOS video game. And I mean, it was DOS, and it
Yeah.
was so basic, dots and dashes to create an airplane that flew across the screen and shot. And that's basically the premise of the whole game.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I
And
remember my first exposure to Microsoft Windows 3.1 was in the seventh grade in 1997. Prior to that, all we had was Apple computers in the
yeah,
schools. With a big
we've come
five and a
so
half inch
far.
floppy disk.
We really have come so far um, in the technology that we have available.
Oh yeah.
So, so, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about you personally that maybe somebody has, maybe they don't know about you as
I
a
just want to
person?
share like me myself. I'm considered legally blind. My vision is very limited, but it doesn't stop me from doing what I do.
I think that's awesome.
And I do have other disability like intellectual developmental. Because I was always in the special education growing up throughout my
Yeah.
school years.
But you've never let that hold you back. Look at
No.
what you've accomplished.
Now the
And I
only thing
think,
what that got held back when I from the last choir that I used to play in church and down in Cruces, it's back around 2011. I was playing the last group that I played. The last time I played in church, I was in the last choir with Holy Cross. What happened was they decided to throw me out um, because they didn't want a blind person playing. They wanted someone who was fully sighted.
huh, wow. Disability rights have come a long way.
Yeah.
They
Well,
really
where I'm
have.
from in New Mexico, disability rights are more stronger there. They're more
Uh-huh.
stronger.
Every state is so different.
Yes,
They really are.
culture wise. Here in Colorado, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Those with service animals. In New Mexico, businesses are strictly prohibited from asking any question whatsoever if it's a service animal or not. They're strictly prohibited
That's
from asking.
actually that's part of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that is a national law.
New Mexico is more stricter. You're not supposed to. You know how other state. When in those places you go in, if that's a service animal, they might ask you that in other states. But in New Mexico, they cannot say nothing at all. If
Hmm.
they do, they'll shut your business down big time. Disability rights down there don't care about the business owner. They're more concerned about protecting the rights of these individuals.
Huh.
So they just shut them down, fine them, make sure that they go bankrupt.
Yeah. So do you have a service animal?
No, no. I,
Okay.
I use a white cane to get around safely.
Okay.
I do have to carry a white cane just to get around safely.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but I knew someone in Mexico who had a service dog who was denied entry at a restaurant. She got disability rights involved, and boy, I tell you what, that restaurant got shut down instantly. The state pulled away their license, everything.
Yeah. Well, I think that you have done a wonderful job of um, overcoming your disabilities. And
Not easy, not easy. Believe me, it's not
no,
easy
it's
because
not.
when I was in college, I had a out in my audio production class. I had one instructor who was really refusing to work with me because I was too much work for him. Then when it came down to midterms and finals, he will give me a hard time because he would not allow me to take my exams outside the classroom or allow the extended time that I needed. Like
Wow.
it got to the point where he threatened me like if I were to go back to the accessibility office.
That's too bad.
Yeah. And when we do a lot of hands-on with audio equipment, like I'm all holding like my video magnifier like this over
Uh-huh.
the equipment so I could see what we're supposed to do, and then all of a sudden he puts his arm around me and pushed me back and tell, hey, you need to step back, and if you can't see, that's your problem, not mine.
That's wrong. That is very wrong. But look, you
Yeah.
accomplished it anyway.
Oh yeah.
You got your certificate and you're able to use it. Um,
Yeah. That
and
that guy
you're
did. Let me tell you, that instructor got fired. I tell you, he got fired after my complaint.
well, you've overcome it and
Yeah.
you're enjoying what you do, I assume.
Yep.
And you know, speaking of what you're doing, um, what got you interested in doing YouTube?
Well, I had my channel like for 15 years. Originally, it was only to promote my music, my recordings, and I started back in 2010, something like that.
Okay, all right.
I
And how
wasn't
did
doing much on YouTube until recent years, till I graduated college.
okay. So tell us about the name of your channel.
The name of my channel is A.S Blind Made Production because that's my production, my multimedia.
Okay,
And what I do on my channel, not just music, but I like to showcase my model trains because when I shoot videos of my model train, sometimes I like to get those in front of the green screen, then edit those in post and add the special effect like the smoke, the sound, make it all sound realistic. And sometimes I put myself in it too.
yeah. I've watched some of your videos and they are very, very creative. There are some really fun ones on there.
Yeah, and also like I've also got some puppets that I use in my post production, like my
Mm-hmm.
chickens and all that.
Yeah.
Which those I shoot them in front of the green screen, and then I just edit them later.
Okay. Yeah, there are some really unique videos on your channel. So now, do you ever do uh, videos or help other people with their videos?
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right.
But I did help another channel with their logo and stuff like that, like Blessed to Crochet.
Okay. All right. That's a very nice logo.
Mary Jones from Blessed to Crochet. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. It's a very nice logo.
yes.
So, um, how do you come up with your ideas for some of your videos?
I don't know. I tell you one thing that what I do the most, I like to watch is like the I don't know if you heard RFD TV channel.
Mhm.
It comes out on satellite like Direct TV or Dish
Yes,
Network.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's the channel I like to watch the most, like the farm agriculture channel.
Right.
Because my work, my all my artwork, it it's primarily tend to focus in that area. I'm trying to like tend to focus more on like the homesteader, country living, rural, lifestyle.
Right.
Because when I was in college taking photography, we had to travel all over, and during that time, that gave me a deep sense of appreciation of our agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
And then in New Mexico, down in La Cruz, we have what's called the Farm New Mexico State Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum,
Oh, okay.
and it's pretty nice. They got these old classic tractors, what farming ranching was like in the old days.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the first time I went there was for my photography assignment, and then the second time in my last semester for graduating, I had to go there for professional development,
Okay.
my portfolio class.
Okay.
That's not only that, it gave me a chance to go to the state fair and stuff like that too.
Very cool.
So that's what got me the sense of appreciation for farmers and agricultural work and all that.
Yeah.
Because at my college at New Mexico State University, what we have there, because the Department of Agriculture is right on the campus, and inside the Department of Agriculture, they have an animation studio that we had to go there on one of our class trips. We had to
Mm-hmm.
go there to the Department of Agriculture to the animation
Mm-hmm.
studio because I took an animation class on my last semester before graduating.
I'll bet that was interesting.
Yeah, so I got to see a lot what they do, what their work primarily focuses on.
Mm-hmm.
Focus more on agriculture, farmers, ranchers.
Very cool.
Yeah, because you hear about the graphic designer, game designer. They all focus on more on the big shots. Like Disney,
Mm-hmm.
uh, all the big stuff. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, right? All the big
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Google, Apple, and all that, all the big
Right.
shots. And then I'm not focusing on that. I'm more focused like rural, like smaller.
Right. Right. Give them their chance to shine.
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't like. I'm not trying to hit for the big shots. Like Disney, nothing like that. No, well, I'm trying to
Yeah.
focus more on the countryside, the rural lifestyle. Farm
Yeah.
agriculture.
I think that's awesome. I
That
think
I,
that's awesome.
I don't hear no like on my channel. That a lot of my work tends to focus on.
Right. Yeah. And you do a good job on that too.
Yeah, and in 2017, I had a scholarship on my last year. So in that instant, I had money left over after my tuition and stuff like that. I gotta I have money to go on a trip to go take that train ride in Durango.
Oh, wow. How fun.
Yes, I went with my mom and dad in 2017 on that
Uh-huh.
train, and
Have
it
you
was
had
totally worth it.
have you had the opportunity to do the train ride in Silverton, or are they still doing that one?
That's the one I went on, the
Oh,
Durango and
okay. All
Silverton.
right. All
It's
right.
Durango and Silverton narrow gauge.
Oh, that one would be so beautiful to ride. I saw it a couple of times when I was driving through there on my way to college. Well, to
Wow.
and from. So, but I didn't
Yeah,
get
it
to
was
top.
worth it. I got a like a 30% discount because of my disability
Oh,
for the
okay.
train. When I call make the reservation and ask if you guys offer any discounts for
Mm-hmm.
the for elderly or disabled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Well, we'll slap on a 30% discount.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, and then what happened when I that morning when I got to the train station to pick up the tickets? It was supposed to be for three of us. I only paid for three, but then what happened? They give me an extra ticket
Oh,
by mistake. Like, wait a minute, no, like when I got on the train and like they asked me, "Why you got four tickets?" No, only pay for three. Like, what did they give you for? I don't know. Like, are you sure? Yeah.
well, that
Like,
was nice.
yeah. So yeah, they made a mistake on their end. Like, they gave me four tickets.
Well, that was good.
Yeah. So I still have that ticket.
Well, that's cool. Now you have a souvenir.
Yeah. I do have the. Like I did shot some photos and video, which I have on my channel as well. The Durango and Silverton.
Oh, cool. I'll
I
have to
have
go
this on
take a
my
look at
channel.
that.
You might want to check that out.
Yeah,
The train ride in
definitely.
Durango and Silverton.
Yeah.
I reposted on my community tab.
Okay. All right.
So if you want to check that out, I
So,
tell you that train was totally worth it.
what are some of your goals for your channel?
My goal basically is to inspire others that your disability doesn't have to hold you back.
Love it. I love that. And you're right. Your disabilities don't have to hold you back. I have disabilities also, and I would have to say that when I learned to just get up and move, that's when my disabilities stopped limiting me and I started overcoming them. Now my disabilities are a little different than yours. Mine are physical, chronic pain, things like that. Um, but I used to spend as many as 18 hours a day in bed because I couldn't move. And now I'm up moving and doing all the time, and I'm able to move through the pain instead of allowing the pain to control me.
Right,
And when I was able to flip that switch in my mind and realize that the pain doesn't have to dictate to me, I can dictate to the pain. It changed my outlook on life, and I'm able to enjoy life so much more. And it is true. Your disabilities don't have to limit your successes.
right. And recently, I just started getting into 3D printing. Let me bring some out. So basically, I've been learning for the past 4 or 5 years. I had to learn Braille.
Oh,
So this
okay.
is what I got 3D printed.
Oh, okay.
Stop on the red signal.
Uh-huh.
So basically, what I'm making is like a railroad crossing sign, like a life size,
Nice.
and it's in Braille as well. Have it in Braille.
Nice.
So someday I want to make model railroad accessible for those who are vision impaired.
Oh, I love that, Alfonso. That is wonderful.
See, this the flashing light is just reflector that I put
Uh-huh.
on.
I like that.
I just need to mount it on a pole, like see you can see the braille.
Uh-huh. I think that is wonderful.
Here's
That's
another one.
great. That is great.
Now here's something that I 3D printed. A train
Oh,
rail.
oh, okay.
The, the Saddle Rock Ridge and the Copperleaf Canyon Railroad. It's in braille.
Okay.
Let me tell you, you do not want to drop this on your foot.
I'm sure not.
It will hurt. You drop this in your train rail on your foot and it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, are you speaking from experience?
And this is my culture, New Mexico,
The
that I
Zia
created.
symbol, right?
Yeah, mixed with the
Yeah.
Colorado
Okay.
to help me cope with the transition.
Right.
This is what helped me, in acceptance.
I'm glad that you found a way to embrace change because
Yeah,
change
like
can
New
be hard.
Mexico, Colorado, Texas, New Mexico, and then got the Zia Zimba mixed with the Colorado.
Yeah.
Even though my
Yeah.
family said they kind of take it offensive.
They what?
My immediate family here, my sister, my brother-in-law, they take it offensive for
Oh,
mixing
really?
Colorado and New Mexico.
Well, if it's important to you, this shouldn't be offensive.
And let me show you some 3D printed rail spikes that I created as well.
Oh, okay. The golden
Got
spike.
rail, yeah, and a train wrestle in braille as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I had a bigger one 3D printed, but it got damaged in the shipping.
Uh-huh. So now, do you do your own 3D printing?
Well, I do my own design, but I send them off to a place in Ohio called C3D Print,
Oh, okay.
c3d.org. It's a 3D printing service for the blind,
Oh,
which
okay.
is free for the blind.
Okay.
Yeah, it's free for the blind. And like,
Well, that's nice that they offer that service for you.
oh yeah. And then here's a braille card. Like,
Oh, cute.
I just
Or-
put the DOT reflector tape
Yeah.
on the vehicle to make it look like they're lights. And I got a 3D printed farm tractor. Let me go grab it.
Uh-huh.
And here's a 3D printed farm tractor.
That's pretty cool.
Had it all done through c3d.org.
So, going back to your music, do you write your own songs or do you just work on
Well,
learning
I've
other
written a
songs?
few of them. There's a few that I've written, but I don't want to release it because the lyrics are very explicit.
Okay. Now,
Um,
do you write the music or the just the lyrics
the
or
music and the lyrics.
okay.
During the pandemic, I wrote one, a Spanish one about accepting the changes. Living in Colorado,
Uh-huh.
that had to accept the changes.
Right.
Because I wasn't accepting it. I think the first 6 months I was here, like I was not a happy camper, I tell you that. But
Right.
I did wrote two songs about how I wanted to go back home to New Mexico, but the lyrics are pretty explicit,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't be
Well,
appropriate for me to release it.
yeah. I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I have to be careful what music is played on here. That's
Right?
why I asked if there was something that you had written for your own.
Yes.
But if you do have something that's your own music, that you would like to share with us, we have just a few minutes left. If you would like to share a song,
Yeah.
okay.
Can you go ahead and bring it up? Bring it. Qué bonito es tener la sangre crispa.
That was very good.
Means I have still have New Mexico in my blood.
Very cool. Very cool. Nice graphics too. I love how you were able to do all the parts and have it
Yeah,
blend so well. Very nice. And thank you for sharing that with us.
you're welcome.
So, I want to thank you so much for being here. And I encourage um, our viewers to check out Alfonso's channel and support him. He's in everybody's chat. I see him all over the place supporting others, uh, in chat, in the live streams, watching videos and leaving comments, giving thumbs up. He's everywhere, supporting everybody. And I'd love to see people going and supporting him as well. Um, he really is a good supporter, and so with that, I want to thank you again, Alfonso, for
Oh,
being
you're very
here
welcome. My pleasure.
and sharing your talent with us, sharing your story with us, letting us get to know you better. Um, and those of you who are watching on the replay, I want to thank you so very much for being here and watching to the end and supporting Alfonso. That's really what this is all about, is supporting other creators and getting their name out there, getting their story out there, and supporting each other. So if you would, I would like to ask you again to please leave a thumbs up, um, leave a comment, and share this out. Let's get Alfonso's name out there and support him. And have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed week. And don't forget, tomorrow there will be Taco About It Tuesday with my co-host Glenda with Grace and Fire. And that is at 3 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Eastern. And then later in the week, there will be a video for Your Thoughts for Thursday. And then Glenda goes live on Saturday for Lazy Saturday Chat, I believe is what she calls it. So be sure and check her channel out on Saturday afternoon. And then I will be live next week for Meet Me Monday. I have on the 23rd, I have Rebecca Touched by Yarn. She will be my guest. So we have a full week coming up, and so just make yourself available to be a part of things and be a part of each other's lives. With that, God bless. Thank you for being here, and have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed week. Bye, guys. See you next time.